Opera GX, owned by Opera, a corporation with around a 1.2 billion, yes, billion dollar market cap, recently debuted their mascot VTuber Aura GX, and they're getting some mixed reception due to a arguably controversial decision that they made. So let me know what you think about this in the comments as I run you through the situation. In a tweet by Dexerto, they say Opera GX debuted their first ever VTuber GX Aura, which instantly broke Twitch with 75,000 viewers. Opera then saying that's crazy. Someone else responding saying, good job manipulating the numbers, and linking back to this tweet by someone named Dr. Plato. In their own celebratory tweet, the corporation Opera GX would quote their mascot and make some One Piece reference, adding the text, "We literally broke Twitch because we peaked 70,000 viewers for a second." And yes, that is my all caps voice. However, let's go back to that tweet from Dr. Plato, who said, embedded on the front page of Opera GX browser, fake viewership numbers, the Fextra Life strategy. So to summarize the issue before we continue on, because we've got a lot to take a look at with Opera GX's response and the explanation from like one of their managers or something, and we'll get to that like I said. So to be sure we're on the same page though, the issue some people are having is that they're bragging about their debut stream with over 75,000 viewers and how it's apparently the biggest debut stream out of any VTuber ever and how they broke Twitch. And then as people are pointing out, they achieved this by embedding the stream on their own browser. And so the people critical of that decision are saying that embedding the stream on the browser was just inflating the numbers in an artificial way. And therefore all they're celebrating comes off really hollow and fake. And excuse me, I got like a bagel in my mouth. I gotta finish eating. 1 second. Okay, thanks for your patience. So Dr. Plato, right, we left off there. And Opera GX actually responded to Dr. Plato, and they're getting very mixed reception to this response. Let's take a look. They say, this is just wrong, LMAO. The embed directs people to the actual stream, but you don't count as a viewer unless you're logged into Twitch on the browser. This embed could also be switched off with a toggle right above it. The page it was featured on is our own site where we display the games to release during the month, new game trailers, game news, and more. It is not the page that appears when you make a new tab. The embed also does not violate Twitch's TOS in any way. Twitch encourages embedding their site. They even provide the code for you to use on their dev page. It's not fake viewership. The viewer count where the users who are logged into Twitch on their browser, those who aren't logged in did not count as viewers. The chat's activity both before and during the stream shows that, even with the slow mode enabled. It's natural that we back our talents on our site for her debut. We will not embed every single stream, only special events, such as this one. This debut was an event we've been working on since the beginning of the year, this year, and naturally we did our best to promote it. Our goal wasn't to hit a certain number of viewers or to inflate the numbers. Numbers aren't important. What matters to us is that we could display the streams on our own website to give it a huge amount of visibility for those who are interested in VTubers. Okay, I'm going to pause and just tell you guys my bias right now, which you probably already know if you're not new to my channel. But when it comes to corporations, I'm extra critical of corporations. And ultimately, Opera is a corporation. A number of years ago, they were bought out by a Chinese company. And more recently, they have IPO'd on the NASDAQ with, like I said, around the $1.2 billion market cap that they currently have. So absolutely, this is a corpo. And when a corporation is saying things like, we don't care about the numbers, just the visibility, that is such a semantical argument. It comes off like corpo PR. That's basically saying we care about the numbers, but trying to make it sound different. And then finally, here where they say, but feel free to direct any of your questions to our VTuber manager real quick, who has been active in the scene for many years and is leading this passion project of his. I gotta have a big X to doubt. Like, they're trying to say it's a passion project, but in reality, this is them just trying to get more people to become consumers of their product. Hey, VTuber fans, you like VTubers? We got a VTuber. Use our browser. Also, this is a really shady way of defining fake viewership because on a technicality, it's not fake viewership from like a analytical perspective. Like, this could technically count as a view through the embed. But if we're talking about genuine viewership, it's certainly not that genuine to force people to see something that they're not looking up on an embed for a browser when they're probably looking something else up and then counting that person as a viewer. However, like I already said earlier in the video, just straight up, I am extra critical of corporations. You know, I was very open about my bias there, so ultimately make up your own mind on this stuff. This is just my 2 cents. Now back to the situation. Dr. Plato responded to Opera saying, Opera GX has millions of active users. If someone is getting a gamer-centric browser, they're most likely going to have Twitch account logged in. If even a portion of those viewers have the GX tab enabled, they count as a live viewer. It's the same stuff Fextra Life does with their wiki. Getting a response from Cherry that says, if that really was what's going on here, don't you think there would be more than 75,000 viewers? Someone else saying that's why you said portion. Cherry saying, I'm sorry, but if Opera GX really wanted to inflate viewer numbers like this, it would not just be 75K. And someone else then responding saying, well, they still did, and they admitted to doing it in their post. People who did not watch or click or even know about the stream were counted as viewers because it's embedded in the browser. That covers Opera's response to Dr. Plato and his response to them. However, if you recall, they also mentioned them being Opera GX. They mentioned their VTuber manager real quick, who also had a statement on this. So let's take a look at that statement. First, the context. Responding to Ducky, who said, "Without diving too deep, it's definitely the biggest EN VTuber debut on Twitch. Iron Mouse's 2022 subathon peaked at 45k, for example. Nazna and Keisan v Shoujo debut at 50k. But I do wonder how many were in chat versus potential browser integration in the Opera GX client." Yeah, I don't think this corporation, Opera, is going to convince me that there's like tens of thousands of people more interested in their mascot VTuber than like Iron Mouse and Nazna and Keisan. But here's what their VTuber manager has to say. To clarify the browser integration, we put a banner on the GX Corner page of the browser at midnight on 1908 with a countdown to her debut stream and a CTA prompting people to go to Twitch. This part's pretty much normal promotion, not really that different than the paid ads you see here on Twitter and other platforms. Around 1 hour before the stream went live, we added a Twitch embed with a chat that could be used if you were logged into Twitch. This embed could be toggled off right above it too. This of course affected the viewer count, but our goal wasn't to hit or inflate any numbers. We just wanted to show her debut stream to as many people as we could, that's all. Meaning you cared about the numbers, right? Like, what is this semantics, man? We won't be embedding regular streams this way, and it's only reserved for big events, such as this one. Okay, we already heard that from the other account. To be honest, embedding every stream would not only inflate the numbers, but also ruin the experience for the viewers, as the chat becomes too hard to read, and no one wants that. Reception to that statement seems a bit split. For example, Funky saying, "It's comical that people are upset about this. You're mad that they embedded her debut stream into GX Corner for a couple of hours? Aura is the official VTuber of Opera GX. They're allowed to do that." Conversely, we have right above that, Atomic saying, in response to the quote, "Our goal wasn't to hit or inflate numbers." Come on, man. Let's not pretend this wasn't the oldest trick in the book. Embedding a whole stream in browser is incredibly overkill. A banner ad is more than enough. So let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I will close out with like my final actual thoughts on this. Some people have issues with them doing the embedding to begin with. I don't so much have an issue with that as much as I do their like response to people pointing it out. Like, yeah, it makes sense that they would capitalize on their browser and put it there, I suppose. Although they didn't have to do that. They could have not done that, but they chose to. But then when they do things like that and say they don't care about the numbers and stuff like that, I find that corpo speak and I find it really lame and dishonest. So that's the part where I'm like, okay, yeah, no thanks. And I just find how they try to appeal to niche interests to be lame too, as I already pointed out. Like them trying to get into VTubers and all that, it's very obvious to me why they do that. They just want money. They want you to become a consumer, as I've said over and over again. Now, ultimately, I've never said in this video that you should not support them or anything like that. Go ahead and support them if you want. Do what you want, you know, it's just my 2 cents. That's what I have an issue with. I'm not saying you have to also have an issue with it. If you love their browser and stuff, by all means, you know, go be happy, live your life. So yeah, not a huge deal. That's just the news that we have today and the news reported on, plus a bit of my opinion on some things I find to be a bit like disingenuous and corpo speak and all that, but you already get the picture. So I'll leave it there. Once again, thank you for tuning in and consider letting me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll catch you there and tomorrow for the next segment.